Are you looking for an off-road badass vehicle that isn't a Jeep? I got one for you. This right here, this is the most talked about vehicle in the market right now, going for sky-high money. And this right here is the Ford Bronco. All right, so starting off with the looks of the Bronco, I think Ford absolutely nailed it. Whoever the designer is, we're gonna look it up, put it down here. Whoever the designer is though, big props to him. They got it absolutely right with this car. I think they really captured the essence of what it was like back in the days that when that Bronco came out. The older ones were a little bit bigger than this because they were based on the Ford F-150 chassis, while this one is based on the Ford Ranger chassis. Also, just to start off, we have this brand new color that they came out, and I think it looks absolutely amazing with it. This is called the Area 51, very popular color in the Ford products and everything. And yeah, I mean, I think me personally, it looks better with the Sasquatch package only because it just gives it that bigger, brawner, just more buff perception. You know, it just looks badass. This thing's size, I mean, this thing's just absolutely massive. This thing, first of all, has the Sasquatch package. What you're gonna do with that package is you're gonna get 35-inch tires. You're gonna get a little bit of an increase on the height. This thing is set at 79 inches tall, and then with the ground clearance, it's gonna increase to 7.5 inches tall for the ground clearance, and then with the length, it's about 189 inches long. So this is a very massive vehicle, and you're gonna feel it as you're driving along, and if you compare it to a Jeep Wrangler. And the width of this car, how wide this thing is, it's about 85 inches wide. So it's a very wide vehicle, and it's probably something that you're not gonna feel taking off-road in very tight, rocky conditions and stuff like that. But I do wanna mention, you do have these on the top right here as indicators basically, so you can have an idea of where the front is at. So now we come to the rear of the Bronco, and as you can see, we have our full-size spare, our brake light right here, camera for the backup camera right here. Also, we have 2 tow hooks, and this one wasn't optioned with the hitch. The maximum amount that it can tow, believe this or not, is 3,500 pounds. So it's not really meant to tow anything. Although this one has the bigger motor in it, the 2.7 engine, it was not set or designed to be towing anything major or anything like that. This is specifically made for just going outdoors and just ripping it and having a good time. All right, so still staying in the back, as you can see, the trunk opens sideways instead of vertically for obvious reasons. And here, come take a closer look at the space that you got in here. So you got a nice, good bit of cargo room, enough to fit some briefcases. So it's very, very capable to be a daily driver. You know, if you're going back and forth to work and doing all just regular stuff. I will mention and say that opening this bit right here is a little bit tricky because you got to kind of go in, unhook this side, and now when you're able to lift it up, it doesn't really lift up that much because, of course, everything's still attached on the top. So, and it just latches right back in once you drop it. So to the inside of the Bronco, we have, first things first, this is not leather seats. This is what Ford calls their military grade vinyl seats. This is a very durable and very, very strong vinyl seat. and surprisingly, it's pretty comfortable. Better than cloth seats, of course, because nothing's gonna sink in if you drop any drinks or mud or anything like that. These are very easy to wash off, very easy to clean, very easy to take care of. Also, something that you notice in the inside, there's a lot of that same material on the armrest. You get a lot of plastic and rubber materials up on the dash, because again, this is an off-road vehicle. This is meant to go off-road, get wet, get mud, and it's not too technical in here. There's not a lot of technology going on, but there's some great features, and we'll get to that. One thing I will complain about is just the build quality of the interior. I mean, everything kind of wobbles around. It feels really, what's the word? Industrial. So that's my main thing. I mean, yes, it's plastic. It's supposed to be plastic. It's going outdoors, all that. But, I mean, you know, if I'm paying a lot of money for a car, I would at least want it to feel a little more sturdier than this. You know what I mean? All right, so a little bit with the interior features and everything, with the screens and everything. So of course, like I said, you got your radio features with your Sirius XM radio, audio, Bluetooth, and whatnot. Listening to your Rihanna. So, and again, Bluetooth connectivity, like I said, so hook up your phone, and then the Apple CarPlay wireless will pop up with the new Sync 4 system. And then other than that, I mean, just the regular stuff. We don't really have to go too deep into it. I want to talk a little bit about the screen up here. Using these controls, and then of course you have your cruise control and volume over there. You're going to be using this pad to be able to go through kind of everything that you want to go through, your trip and fuel, off-road, and this is kind of pretty cool. Check this out. So if I want to change, or if I want to turn, I can actually see the degree of angle that I'm at with this off-road setting. It's pretty cool. And then you can kind of just go through your pitch and roll. You can go and see your power distribution, because again, this is 4-wheel drive, and it will actually show you where your power is being distributed, whether if it's to the front, to the back, for whatever purpose, your tire pressures and all that stuff, and then your gauges, and then your turbo boost, because again, this is a V6 with a turbocharger to it. It's not going to be the 3.5, which a lot of people thought it was going to be, and it's definitely not going to be a V8 in here. That's kind of one thing that I really wish that they could have put in there, but other than that, you get some pretty good features up in here. Nothing too crazy, nothing too difficult to understand. All right, so in the rear we have our seats right here, and cool thing, we can actually fold them down, press the button, and it lays down nice and flat. And let's see what's the room like back here. All right, so it's a little tight. As you can see, I don't have that much leg room. The seats are manual up front, by the way, so this is kind of how I would set mine up. I have longer legs, and it's okay. I have about an inch of leg room before, you know, if I were to go on a trip and we're going, 30 minutes down the road or something, I'd be asking every 5 minutes, how close are we? Because, yeah, it's not that much room in the back, but it's just enough to be able to, suffice. You know what I mean? Also, something I forgot to mention was that you have plenty of headroom, but also check that out. I don't know if you could see it. I'm gonna put you a little closer, but check that out. Under the rubber mat, you have a drain plug. So if you ever get any kind of water, mud, or anything like that, and you want to hose down the interior of the car, you can just pull the drain out, or just do what you need to do, hose it down, and then it'll all drain out. Let's drive it on the road. All right, so driving the Ford Bronco with the Sasquatch package. Oh no. Alright, so straight away, we didn't even spend, what, 15 seconds driving? The wind. Oh my gosh. The wind is a big concern. I don't know if you can actually hear it in the video or in the with the mic and everything, but there is a lot of wind noise coming from the top. So straight away, I mean, the ride is actually not that bad. You can tell it's a little stiff because, of course, this is a Sasquatch package, so the suspension is going to be a little bit buff. It's going to be a little bit more stiffer. It's off-road ready. You know what I mean? But again, it's not that uncomfortable. In terms of power, let's go ahead and try it out. Oh yeah. Man, this wind noise is bad. So power-wise, you got pretty good torque. Horsepower, you got about 330 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque with the 2.7 EcoBoost V6 motor that Ford has been putting out. And this is what this has. And this is definitely the motor that you want to have if you get a Bronco. Like, if you're not really too much into power and pep and everything like that, and you want a little better fuel economy, then go ahead and get the 2.3, the 4-cylinder. But if you want something that's got a little bit pep in its step, I'd get the 2.7. All right, so we're on a back road. All right, so it's got a nice little pickup to it. And again, this is not a performance car. Do not expect this to be fast. If you want something with a little more pep, then the Raptor version of this is going to have the 3-liter V6 in it, which is going to probably be pushing close to 400 horsepower, which is going to be very exciting. Road or drive quality is pretty acceptable. You definitely feel, you know, a lot of the bumps and everything, and obviously being that this is an off-roader, it's very stiff. It doesn't handle the bumps very gently. It just gets over it, you know. But other than that, it's still quite comfortable because of the seats. But just how this thing attacks the road and how it just kind of crawls over all the bumps and everything, you definitely feel it. And you can probably see the cameras just vibrating through. And I've driven this road in so many different vehicles, and I've never seen the camera vibrate so much as this one is right now. Not much to really say, you know. I mean, visibility is pretty good. You can see everything. You definitely get the feel like this is a truck. It definitely drives like a truck. And again, like I said, this is based on the Ranger chassis. So I can, just by driving it, I can kind of see, like, yeah, it makes sense. It drives like a truck, feels like a truck. The height, in terms of how high you are off the ground, is like a truck. But the main thing about this thing is that you just want to have presence, you know what I mean? Other than that, thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to me if you're new. Smash that like button. And comment on anything that I said, anything that I missed, anything that you guys want me to review, or something that you want me to switch up doing with my reviews. And yeah, just let me know what it is and I'll reply.